All right, so it's 11 a.m. sharp CET, and I see that people are already joining. So let's then begin our onboarding webinar. At the beginning, I have prepared for you a bit of exercise. So let's say a bit of warm up, because Capacity4dev is a community platform, and we want to show you what the community for Capacity4dev means and what is its added value. And in this case, we prepared a networking exercise because the collaboration is mainly also the networking among each of you about your projects and initiatives. So how does it work is that you just unmute yourself and introduce yourself. You can also use your camera if you want, and you say us your name. So for example, in my case, I am Marisa Metsnikova. Then your position. So I am the community manager of Capacity4dev. And then what do you expect from this webinar, which will help us to navigate then the whole onboarding webinar and also the virtual tour, what we should focus on. So in this case, I am here to provide effective support to our users. And you can also mention, for example, the country where you are based or where is your mission currently. So I would like to then give you the floor. Who would like to start to introduce themselves to our community? I see that already 25 people joined, which is great. I see, Alvaro, that you have your camera on, so maybe we can...
Begin by me.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Hello.
Good morning. My name is Álvaro Cunha. I'm working at the Portuguese Minister of Foreign Affairs as Global Gateway Desk. What I want, what I wish from this session is to have more close approach to Capacity4dev. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Did I hear well that you work for the Portuguese Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
That's it.
Yeah. So then we can naturally actually flow to Maria, who actually joined us recently in Capacity4dev. So Maria, if you can introduce yourself and maybe also tell the connection to Portugal.
Exactly. I'm Maria, as Maria already said. I'm the user support manager here in Capacity4dev. I'm Portuguese as well as Álvaro, and of course I'm here to help you whatever you need. I will also share some useful links that you can access to, and you can always reach out to us in our support mailbox. And it's a pleasure to be here and to be able to meet you all.
Thank you very much, Maria. And indeed, she's the first point of contact inside our support mailbox. I think that some of you already had pleasure, maybe if you reach out to us via this mailbox. So it's support@capacity4dev.eu. I'm sure that she will also mention it in the chat, but you would be mainly with her in contact in case that you have some technical issues, or if you don't know how to use the platform, or if you have any other question, she will then forward it to the different departments of ours. And who else would like to introduce themselves to our community of development professionals? Don't hesitate also to raise your hands in the backend so we can see in the different number following. I see that Reem from GIZ.
Yes, hello everyone.
Hello.
Yes, I'm Reem from GIZ. I am in Palestine. I work for private sector development program, and we are starting a new project in Green Growth Palestine within the Team Europe initiative. And I'm looking forward for this session, as a lot of documents I have downloaded already from your website, which was really helpful and useful for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you for mentioning Team Europe initiative, because indeed it's one of the main resources, official resources that we have on Capacity4dev, from where you can actually gain the different knowledge and also the documents that you might need for your daily workflow. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So the next one is Marochi. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, probably. And you are muted. Yeah.
No problem. My name is Annalisa. Marocchi is my surname. I'm from Italy, and thank you for the invitation. I just registered to the platform because I'm gonna be the communication manager for a new project funded by the DEAR program. It's a project about global education in schools in Europe, and I work for an NGO, an international NGO that is it has the headquarters in Italy, but it works all over the world. And the name is CISP, the International Committee for the Development of People. And yeah, basically what I wanted from this webinar was to understand how the platform works and to know the people, because I think that it's going to be very useful for the project I'm going to work on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And did we maybe meet last week during the DEAR program event?
No, I wasn't there,
Okay.
unfortunately, but I'm going to be in the next ones.
Okay, because we actually were presenting Capacity4dev to the DEAR project where we were introduced and
yeah, some the project coordinators were there and I wasn't, so maybe you met them.
So you will actually have the added value being with us on this onboarding webinar, because you will already have more advanced knowledge than most of the people who were during that event. So thank you for coming today. And I will also mention what is the added value of Capacity4dev and how it's important for the effective communication among the development professionals, and what features and functions you can use to actually facilitate your daily workflow. So thank you for sharing this with us. And the next one, I see Sarah.
Yes, hi everybody. So my name is Sarah. I'm working for GIZ. I'm based in Brussels. I work in a nutrition program, advising the EC on nutrition and also EU delegations in countries. And I'm already using the platform quite a bit, but I hope that I'll discover new features, have a better understanding of it. And yeah, it's nice to meet you all. And thank you for organizing this.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for sharing. And I think that actually you might benefit also a lot from this webinar, because I think that nutrition is not that widely yet used on Capacity4dev. So actually there might be some kind of gap in nutrition. So if you would more get into the different features and functions, you might have actually the benefit of being one of the first discussing this exact topic. So
perfect.
Thank you for coming. And so who next want to introduce themselves to our community of development professionals? I see Carla.
Hello, I'm Carla Ottonello. I'm from Italy. I work for an Italian region. Can you see me? Yes, I see you now. Sorry. And I'm just like the other colleagues here to understand better how the platform works. And of course, I work in the field of international cooperation development.
Thank you very much for sharing. And I also saw briefly just opening a camera, Tambudzai, if I pronounce your name correctly, if you maybe might introduce yourself, because I saw that you might be from Africa, maybe, that you have it also in your name on the Teams. If you want just to unmute yourself and possibly open your camera, but if not, it's also totally fine. I see Dionis.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Dionis Ndungu. I am the team leader of the Ignite ACP EU Ignite Culture Program. This is a grant fund to the cultural and creative sector in Eastern Africa, the larger Eastern Africa. We have a presence in 14 countries. It's a big program funded by the EU to a tune of 7 million euros. We're just coming to an end of that program. by August of this year. And so the reason why I'm here as team leader, I just want to be able to share what we've been able to achieve with the grant funding from the EU. The idea there was the socio-economic development of the sector, and for that, with that, then the socio-economic development of Eastern Africa. So I'm happy to share what we've been able to do, as well as network. The program is coming to an end, to understand what other opportunities lie, and also to be able to learn from everybody on the call. Thank you very much. I am based in Nairobi, Kenya.
Thank you very much. That's really great. We always like to also meet people from the different continents, from the different countries, because our community is very diverse. So we don't only have, for example, the people of the European institutions, because many people think that actually Capacity4dev is mainly for the people from the European institutions, but it's actually open to wide public, and it's also the people from academia, from the different projects, from the mission on the field, etc. So thank you for joining us today and for sharing your expectations, because I think that we will be also covering the project and how you can actually benefit from long-lasting project on Capacity4dev, that even when it's closed, when it's finished, it still can be there on Capacity4dev. So
Super.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
I see.
And did I mention I work for the British Council?
Okay, thank you very much for adding this information. And I see Mariana.
Hi all, sorry, my internet's super unstable today. So I'm Mariana Pereira, I'm based in Berlin. I work for Connexus International, and we work with women empowerment and poverty alleviation in different countries, but mainly in MENA. And I'm here because I've been following the work of the platform, and I want to know more and also potentially contribute with my background and experiences. So thank you for organizing.
I think we lost a bit the last sentence, but thank you for following our work. And indeed, we are really active on different platforms such as social media, or even now we started with podcast, which we will be even distributing on other platforms, not only the SoundCloud currently. So I actually wanted to ask you, which kind of content do you follow now when you came back, actually, after you freezed for a bit?
Well, I am an old-fashioned person, so I pretty like for the connections, and whenever there's links and seminars, I'm always attending. So for social media, actually super cool, because I think it's a way for us to also spread more the content among like mostly new professionals and stuff. I think it's a more diverse format, so it's very interesting to know.
Thank you very much. And especially regarding the links and seminars, I will be then focusing on events, because we have the global calendar for the Capacity4dev, where you can also attend the different events, either on site or virtual. And now I would like to give floor to Tambudzai, if I pronounce it well.
Hello. Yes, you did. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we hear you and we see you.
Great. So my name is Tambudzai Matsumure. I'm a program manager for women empowerment with HIVOS based in our Zimbabwe office. We currently are working on 2 EU projects funded by the EU delegation in Zimbabwe that are focusing on women and youth leadership and decision making. So just capacity building to ensure that women and youths also have a voice and participate in governance processes. And as I said, it's my first time interacting with the platform. So looking forward to any information that we can get to also be able to share some of the resources that we've developed through the 2 programs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And indeed, gender is a very known topic for Capacity4dev. So you will definitely find the community there. And you can even probably establish your own group where you can actually have your own small community of members. You can invite the people from the different fields who are interested in gender there, and you can do different activities. But I see that it's already 11:15, which means that this was just a brief introduction to what Capacity4dev community is and what are the development professionals behind the screens, because mostly we are interacting virtually, but then when it comes to the networking as such, it's always nice to have these kind of connections and just brief understanding of who is behind the screen on Capacity4dev. So thank you so much all for sharing your different information. You can still, for example, pop in the chat also if you didn't have a chance to introduce yourself. You can pop it in the chat with the different what you are doing, from which organization, what project you are interested, because then you can also find some more connections there. But let me then jump now to the Capacity4dev webinar. So Capacity4dev onboarding webinar is for anybody who wants to refresh their knowledge. So if you, for example, were a member 1 year ago or 2 years ago and you were not really using the platform, you can also benefit from this webinar, because our webinar went through the big migration last year. So the features and functions were revamped and refreshed. Or if you don't have knowledge about Capacity4dev whatsoever, then this is also the place to be today. So what we will be covering is what is Capacity4dev, then who can use the platform, what are the different features and functions available for you, how you can also benefit from being a user, then some brief administration in case that you have some issues with login or registration. So we will be covering how to log in, and then how to use the platform as such. I always say that the best learning is by doing. So not only we will be covering the theory from the slides of this presentation, which I will of course send you after this webinar in the thank you note together with the recording, but I will also show you the virtual tour. So you will see the different functions and features in practice. And the last but not least is the question and answers. So still at the end, you will have a chance to again unmute yourself, because I will be now speaking a bit for some time. So then I will also like to give you a floor and to make it more interactive in case that there was not something very clear, or you want to navigate me somewhere else that I can explain to you regarding our platform. But so what is Capacity4dev? Capacity4dev is DG International Partnership online knowledge platform, and it was established by European Commission in 2009. It has a leading position on knowledge sharing in the field of external relations. It means that it's used widely by the RELX family, which means by the FPI, by the DG NEAR, DG INPA, also European External Action Service, and also European delegations and others. It's the community of the development professionals that make the platform running, and why there is a content on our platform. So it's actually you, the community, who is publishing the content on the platform, and then you are running your own groups or sharing knowledge in the projects, or even you can have a horizontal approach resource, which is a new feature since the migration in May 2023. But I will speak about it more in details in a bit. So what do we actually do? You could hear from me and from Maria in this call that we are actually the team, the core team of Capacity4dev. So what do we do when actually the community is putting the content on Capacity4dev? And mainly we connect, we collaborate, we exchange, and we do it worldwide. So we connect development professionals like you. We foster the collaborations among you, something like, for example, the networking at the beginning was fostering the collaborations, because maybe you might find another person who is interested in the similar focus as you are, such as gender or the different topics that we have covered. Also, you can facilitate, we also facilitate the exchanges by the different features and functions that are available for you. So I will be talking about the chat function, contact members inside the different groups, or even the personalized feed, because our platform is covered by the algorithm. So you get always the exact documents, the exact events based on your own interest. And we do it around the world. You could also hear it from our users in this call that they really come from the different corners of this world. So who can use Capacity4dev? On average, we have 300 new members requests per month. Why I say request is because every member needs to go through the validation procedure. This is also why Maria is in this call, because you always need to go through the validation. This is mainly for the security purposes. So we need to know that you are, for example, not spammer, that you have motivation to be on our platform, and that you are somehow related to the development field. So then, Maria, when she's validating your profile, you have then access to all of the resources that are out there. So who is in the community? It's mainly the EU institutions. So people from the EU institutions such as Commission, Parliament, European External Action Service, the RELX family in general. Then also governments. We could hear that there was a user from the MFA of Portugal. Then also international organizations such as the GIZ, then also the NGO and civil society, academia. I don't know why, but we received also recently a lot of questions regarding academia, if it's suitable for example, professors or students. And indeed, Capacity4dev is the place for the master students, for example, if they do their research in the different development field, and they can contact you, for example, if they need some interview for their research, or professors who are actually, for example, giving the lessons based on the different development fields, and they can find the valuable up-to-date resources on our platform. And the last but not least is the private sector. And here I'm talking about consultants, experts, etc., who are also a very valuable part of our community. So what is the added value of Capacity4dev? I mean, I already covered some, but let's say that you can also argue that we have other social media such as LinkedIn. So why should I be on Capacity4dev? The Capacity4dev is the only collaborative platform where all RELX family members interact with equal access in public, restricted, or private environments. So this is mainly related to the people from the EU institutions, because from our experience, we have a problem that different institutions use different communication channels. So they, for example, are using, in this case, European delegation is, for example, using Zoom, whereas European Commission is using Teams, and they don't really have the platform where they can interact together. So we provided them Capacity4dev, where they can actually interact in the different spaces with the different accesses, and they can even speak to the wider public. It's also hosted within the EU institution in a secure IT environment. So as I said before, it was funded by the European Commission, and it's owned by the European Commission DG International Partnership. And it's the community created platform from 80%. When I say from the 80%, is that 20% still belongs the credit to our editorial team, who is working tirelessly on the different podcasts, interviews, or even collaborations with the units to give you the most up-to-date lessons learned from the different missions. So I will also show you where you can find these articles and podcasts on our platform if you want a really fresh update about what is going on with the different missions. We are also active on the social media, so you can definitely follow us. In case of the YouTube, we have two YouTube channels. So one is official one, where you can find usually the official interviews of Capacity4dev, and the second one is the members channel, where I usually share with you the different tutorials, or you can find there also the onboarding webinar, or in the case you want to embed a video on our platform. So let's say that you have a page and you want to put some video inside your page. You need to first upload your video on YouTube and then put the link or embed it so it's nicely shown on our platform. And for this, you need a YouTube channel. So we also use it in this case. If you write us in support@capacity4dev.eu that you want to upload some video on our YouTube channel, we can actually do it for you. And then you will just simply embed it on our platform. Also, something really a lot awaiting is multilingual website, which will be in English, French, and Spanish actually, like now it's in English, so it will be more in English and also Spanish. So what features are available on the platform? In this case, mainly we have groups, projects, resources, as well as articles. So the groups, I will also then show you in practice, because when you just see it on this slide, it might be slightly confusing. But in a nutshell, groups is a collaborative space. So you want to request a membership inside a group if you want to collaborate with the different professionals on different fields, on different topics, and if you want to foster more connection and the exchange. You can also give feedback on the different groups and topics, etc. Or you can also open your own group. So let's say that you work in nutrition for the European institution, or like your project is EU funded, and you want to open new group where you actually have already some network, and you can open a group on our platform, and you can start to interact with the different members who either are in your email list externally. So let's say that usually you have some email list who you send a newsletter, different information. So you can invite people to this group even though they don't have the membership on Capacity4dev, and they can then come to Capacity4dev to interact with you. So you can use it as community space. Or you can also invite people who are already on our platform, and you can then collaborate with them inside your own group. Then there is a project. So project is rather sharing knowledge. So it's something like external website. So when you go on external website, you usually read what the project is about, what the initiative is about, when it was funded, what they did, lessons learned, and it's not interactive. So you usually just learn from the different lessons learned that the different projects are doing. So we also covered Dear project, which is a very good resource on Capacity4dev. So they have a project page, and you can learn what they did during the past months, past years, and it's out there for you to learn from it. Or in the case, you can also open again your own project about your specific initiative, and you can then update it with the most up-to-date information. The main added value of the project is that it's free and lasting. Mainly it's because sometimes European Commission is putting restrictions on the websites. So for example, let's say that you cannot have website because it's in your contract with European Commission. So then you can just simply open your project on Capacity4dev, which is acting like an external website, and it's for free. So like you don't need to have web building skills, you don't need to pay somebody. It's very user friendly to actually build it up. And it's also lasting. So we have 3 different segments. So either you can mark it as not started yet, ongoing, or completed. So even when, let's say, my project is starting next month in April 2024, and it's going until 2028, then I can just mark my project by the different stages. So even when my project will end in 2028, I will just mark it as completed, and the information will be still stored on our platform for long. I don't want to say forever, but for long, and maybe forever. And the third one is resource. This we actually open up recently to the wider public, that people can open their own resources. Until May 2023, it was rather Team Europe initiative, results and indicators, and these official EU resources only. However, our users were actually calling for opening their own resource because they have some kind of methodology. And a resource doesn't mean a material. So like you usually don't open your own resource if you have just one material. Resource is something much more horizontal, something broader as methodology that you want to build on. And we have quite strict conditions. So in a case of groups and projects, we usually approve 98% of the space submitted. However, for the resource, we are more strict, and many times there can be rather alternative to open project or group instead. And the last is the articles, which I will also show you during our virtual tour where you can find it because I was already speaking about it in our editorial team. So here is just a small diagram. I think that this will be also sent to you after this webinar, so you can then refer to it when you will want to open your own space in case you would like to begin, if you would like to be one of our space managers. So you can use this diagram to navigate what kind of space you actually should open. And now it's actually the time to go for the virtual tour and for the final practice. So let me now just share my different screen. I just hope that the screen was visible all the time. Yes, because when I actually went out, I didn't see to unshare it anymore. And let me share with you the website. So when you log in on Capacity4dev, you should see this page. Just disregard this banner because this is because I'm the admin of this website. I'm using mainly this this user account now for this onboarding to show you all of the different features. Also, if you would want to become the owner or administrator. And when you log in, you can see here the latest community activities. So here it's your personalized feed. So everybody who are actually in this call, because all of you should be already registered, you should have indicated your interests during your registration. So what are your topics and countries of your interest? And based on this, we are providing you the materials which you can see on this homepage. So when you are logged in and you click on the home, there should be the latest community activities. So usually featured is featured by our editorial team. You can also see how many updates are here regarding my my interests on the platform. Also, I have here the different events that are actually popping up based on my interests. Then also the groups should suggested for me, the projects, new users who joined, etc. Also here on the right sidebar, you can see something similar to LinkedIn. If you are on that social media channel, that you can also follow the different people on our platform. So let's say that I want to see what, for example, Arthur, the director at the Media Diversity Institute, what he's actually liking, what he's interested in. So I can follow his exact activity on Capacity4dev, what he's sharing as a documents, etc. Also, I can see here what are my followers and other suggestions on who to follow so I can expand my network. Next to the home, we have a topics. So this is also very powerful search. So you can see here all of the topics which we have on our platform, including the subtopics, which are divided to the different categories. And we have revised all of these topics based by the DG INPA units. So you can go here, let's say that you are interested, for example, in the education, and here you can even choose more narrow search and what is going on with this exact topic on Capacity4dev. You can, in this case, also ask, but Marie, like everybody is nowadays as development professionals using SDGs. And you are right. And as we are the European Commission, in this case, we were using the revision from the units. So we work based on the topics. However, if you know, for example, which SDGs are applying to you, you can also filter by the different numbers here, being interested, for example, in zero hunger. And you can take a look on the 3 topics which are actually connected to this exact SDG. Because we really value that all of the development professionals are always taking into consideration SDGs, and therefore we also included this filter for your navigation. Then we have countries. Here you can find an interactive map. So let's say that you want to take a look at the different countries. So in this case, for example, Sudan, and how many different groups there are, projects, discussions. You can also go to the country and then read through the different information that are available on our platform. Then we have the articles. So this is what I was speaking about in case of the editorial team. So here you can find the latest episode of Capacity4dev. I really recommend to definitely listen to it. Like, for example, if you are driving in your car to your work, or if you are in the bus, you can just put it in your headphones and you can listen to the latest updates regarding the development field. Also here you can find ambassadors block. So you can come across that we have around 29 ambassadors of our platform who are helping us to spread the word around the Capacity4dev, and they are the leading users of our platform, who are writing also the blogs in collaboration with the editorial team, and who are, for example, participating in brainstormings for the upcoming activities for you as a users. And I have to say that we have really something exciting for you in the pipeline in upcoming months. It will be more interactive. We will also have more networking opportunities and more events for you prepared. So you can definitely check out the articles tab, where you can find the most up-to-date things from our editorial team. Then we have here resources. Here we speak mainly about key official resources. So we could hear from the networking part that there was the Team Europe initiative, so you can find it here. Also results and indicators, etc. So you just click on it and then you can navigate throughout the whole resource and the different documents and information that are shared with you on the platform. So then we have also browse content. Here you can find all of the content based on our community. So here you can also see that we have one more resources. It's not a mistake, it's not a bug that we have it 2 times. It's because like when you click on it, it's the resources which are published by our users. So these are not the EU officials, or you can also find them among them. But here are also resources published by our users, by the public, etc. So this is mainly the different explanation of these 2 tabs. So then we have a groups. As I said during the PowerPoint presentation, groups are really the heartbeat of Capacity4dev, because this is where the all magic is happening and all of the collaboration. So you can, for example, navigate here in the groups. You can also use the filters and filter towards the main topics that you are interested in. And here, if you click on this button, you can create your own group. So if you want to start your own small community or even bigger community, you can then, by this button, create your own group. So let me go to some performing group to show you what are the different features of it and what you can do inside that exact group. So here we have environment, climate change, and green economy. If you are a user, then you just see the request membership. So you need to request membership, but then if you would like to become the space owner or administrator, you would have also this button available for managing your own group. When you land on the group, you can see the basic information about it, how many library items, discussions are here. You can also interact. Basically, it's the functions of what you can also find on other social media, such as bookmark, like, or share. You can share on different social media channels immediately, and then the overview. This is the description of the group, so you can see what is the main objective. Here are the details of who are the owners and administrators, related topics, related groups. So let's say that if the space owners or administrators also own some other. And then the latest activities for the users. Then we have an info page. Info page is where usually space owners and administrators are sharing the most up-to-date information. Here you cannot really interact. It's rather about sharing lessons learned, sharing, for example, notes from the meetings that were happening, the different email addresses, if they use it in this direction of contact point, etc. So here you can find the main information. Then we have the discussion. So as a user, you are really interested in this because you can then discuss the different topics and problematics here inside the discussions. If you want to post your own discussion, which is also possible, so as a user and if you are member of the different groups, then you can start your own discussion by clicking on this global yellow button. I say global because it's visible throughout the whole platform, so you can actually post content inside any group immediately. And you click in this case on start discussion, and here you choose in which groups you want to actually publish it. So either be it many different public groups. This is mainly that if you are the development professional in the gender, for example, you might be part of many different groups and you want to have bigger outreach of your expertise. So then you want to publish it in as many groups as possible, but then the private groups are not accessible for you because we just want to avoid the clash of interests, the confidentiality, etc. So we want to be sure that it is exactly what you want to do. Usually you can just publish discussion in one private group, or you can choose to go rather public and go more wider. If you are member of public and private, then I recommend that you first publish it inside some public group and then reshare it in the private, which is also possible to do the cross sharing on our platform. Then the next one is the library. So this is the place where you will find all of the documents, the PowerPoint presentations, and any document which might be relevant to this exact group. Then you can also browse the different members. You can search by keywords. You can also see who are the different members. You can also contact them via our chat function. So you just hit contact and you write a message. This is also really widely used for the networking purposes. And then you have the events of the group. So here you will find the different events that you might be participating in, either in person or virtually. And again, when you go, for example, to the library and you, for example, open this exact document, you can again bookmark, like, comment, share. And here is also the cross-sharing button, which is in the share, like for the social media. But if you click on the Capacity4dev, then you will have again this exact window opening, and you can then cross-share it into the private groups if you want. So I said many times that we have a three different visibility, which is private, restricted, and public. What is the difference is that public means that it's open to the wide public. So everybody can see this exact group. There is only one difference, is that either there is automatic accepting of the members. So if you click on it, you are immediately inside, or the space managers can also choose that they need to actually validate your access to the group. So then you request the membership and you wait for let's say 24 hours until the space manager will validate you. They usually receive the notification email, so they usually do it really fast. But in a case that you are waiting for longer, you can also contact us on support@capacity4dev.eu and we can troubleshoot that or get in touch with the space managers. Then there is restricted. Restricted is usually based on the different institutions. So let's say that, for example, you are from GIZ or the Commission, and you want to share different information only with your specific organization. Then you want to establish a restricted group, and you can fill out what kind of domains of the members should see this exact space. How does it work is that actually our platform sees all of the email addresses of the people who are registering on our platform. So we know if what kind of members are coming from which organizations based on their domain. And then this group, restricted group, is shown only to the exact domain that you actually chose. And then last but not least is the private, which you can use, and it's only by the invitation. So you usually want to open the private group if you have the specific people you want them to be included, for example, from the different departments or different units, etc. And you can send them the invitation inside the group via the email. So this is just briefly about the group, and this is where you can also see it if it's public, private, or restricted. Then we have the projects. So the project, as I said before, is the external website. So we have here really nicely the EU DEAR program on the top, as we were speaking about it many times. And I have to say that they perform really well on Capacity4dev. So you can again see the basic information about it. You have the action buttons and then some overviews of what EU DEAR is, the latest activities, and related topic, who is the owner, admins, etc. Then you have the info. So in this case, we don't have here the information, so you will have written this exact sentence. Then we have the news. So here is usually publishing the project, the different news. So for example, the different achievements, successes, etc. And you can also like it, you can comment it on it, for example, bravo, if it's some success, and you can get in touch with the people. But it's not collaborative. So here you can just like comment on it, but we don't use it as also you have on the websites. On websites, you have also allowed to comment, but it's not the collaboration as such. You also don't need to request the membership, as you can see. So this is only button for the people who wants to become the space managers. So then this button will appear for them, but you will not have here the request membership, because all of the projects are publicly available, and the only thing is which is changing is this status. So as we said before, it's either not started yet, ongoing, or completed. Here you can find the library, so either PowerPoint presentations from different meetings, or even here you can see the events. Then you can also find the global search of all discussions, library, resources, articles. But very interesting, and I think that this you can definitely benefit from, is the members. So here you can find all of the members on our platform, and you can also contact them if they actually gave the permission to be contacted on our platform. So very interesting here is also that you can search by the different topics of interest, organization types. So let's say that we want to see all of the people from the European institutions that are active on Capacity4dev, and we, for example, choose biodiversity and ecosystem, and it will give us the result of the people who are, for example, working for this exact field in the European Commission or in other different institutions. So this we got, for example, Nutrition Security Program Manager at DG INPA, and this person agreed that he wants to be contacted. So then you just hit the contact and you can send the message. How does this work? I will then show you quickly in the profile, but I also promised from the networking to cover briefly the different events, which you can also find here in the global search of the events. And here you can again navigate towards the SDGs, the countries, etc. You can also find here our webinars. So if some of you is interested in the effective communication of Capacity4dev, we will be organizing in 10 of April the effective communication on Capacity4dev. However, it's for more advanced users. So we will not be covering the basics that was, for example, here in this onboarding webinar, but it will be more advanced, and we will be covering mainly how to be the space manager and activate your community. So if you are thinking about, for example, opening your own space, then this webinar is definitely for you. But I will leave you then with events here, because you can definitely sort and filter and check it out what is out there after this webinar. The last but not least, I want to just briefly show you is your profile. So here you can navigate to your profile. It's something like LinkedIn, which you develop with your bio, with your picture. Also, I really recommend to put your LinkedIn because then people can follow with you, for example, on your LinkedIn profile. Then you have the notification, so you can see it's also like on other social media. We are also planning to maybe have the mobile application, because then it might be more straightforward for you to receive the notifications. And now let me go briefly to my profile. And here you can see about me, the group I own or I manage. And when you go here into the messages, you can actually find the chat function. So here you can actually write with the different people, and you can also receive the notification about it to your mailbox. You can then also see who you are following, what are your followers, and get more into in depth of your statistics, and click on your settings where you can manage all of these information. So I think that I already spoke for some time right now. So I would actually like to give you the floor, because sometimes all of these informations might be slightly overwhelming. So I would like to now ask Maria if there were some questions in the chat while I was speaking.
There was one question from Faith. Perhaps you can complement my answer. So Faith asks if this forum attracts and retains development-focused minds, thus presenting the potential to power actualizing development solutions. My question is there any feature, activity, protocol in the workings of the network that allows members to share innovative ideas with peers here, and the network admin, receiving inputs and collaborate to push for the best versions of such solutions?
This is a very great question. I see that it's also targeted to the health system, which I totally agree with, that definitely the innovative ideas needs to be collaborated with. And I would say that Capacity4dev is the space to actually collaborate in this aspect, because you can, for example, find a group in your interest. For example, you are interested in health system, etc. So then you can go to topics, search for the health, and you can become part of the different groups that you might be interested in. And you can actually share there your innovative ideas. You can get in touch with the people there. So definitely we encourage this also, not only in the health sector, but also in the others. And yeah, I would just try it out, how Capacity4dev works, and then you can also let us know on support@capacity4dev.eu in case that you have some follow-up questions regarding this networking, or how to be more interactive with the innovative ideas. So somebody wants to ask any question regarding Capacity4dev and your individual case. You can also raise your hand or just unmute yourself and ask it in the real time. All right, so if not, I will then just cover briefly one last thing, which it didn't allow me with my profile on with the Drupal admin. But just if something will pop up into your mind while I will show you this, you can just unmute yourself and jump into my speech. Don't worry. But here, when you go into my profile, and you want to actually adjust your settings, so you click on my settings, and here you can adjust all of the mandatory fields that you did during the registration. So let's say that I change the organization type. Here is the LinkedIn profile I was speaking about. here the about me is mainly your bio, that the introduction. I really recommend to actually work on this because we widely use it, especially when it comes to the credibility of the users. So when we see that the profile is fill out, if it has profile picture, there are the topics, countries, bio, then we usually know that this person is credible. Also the different interests, and the most importantly, and I would like you to actually go there and check it out directly, either now or after the webinar. Here in the notification, you can select if you want to have notification daily, immediate, weekly, monthly, or never. So this is usually the notification updates. So it's not here in the bell, let's say we call this like bell notifications. It's not about that one, but it's the notifications that you receive something like newsletter. So Capacity4dev is a very powerful platform in case of the development fields, and there are many different documents published weekly or daily. And our system is compiling the newsletter itself. So it's automatically created, and you can receive this update of our platform on these different frequencies. So it will give you into your mailbox the newsletter of the different documents, PowerPoint presentations, events that are on our platform throughout, published throughout the different period of time. So this was my last thing that I just wanted to cover with you, and I see Maria.
It's myself. Jose Maria Velasquez also made a question, and Paula too. So I will tell you which one. So Jose asks, is there any limit to the number of files or the storage capacity that a group can hold?
This is a very good question, and there is not, or at least nobody yet really reached that limit. But I will follow up with the IT, and I will include it in our thank you email. But so far, we had many different projects and groups that were publishing really at thousands of documents because they wanted to use it as the storage and the place, the landing place for the users. So I have to say that Capacity4dev can bear a lot. But if there is the exact limit, I will check with the IT department and will then let you know in the thank you note.
And Paula also asks, did I get it well? As I gathered from the speaker, that we can have our website on the platform.
Yes and no. Let's say I don't know what you mean by the website. It's rather that when I mentioned the projects are actually working like the external website. So, for example, when you have EU-funded project and like, for example, the EU DEAR, then you want to let public know about what you are doing and what you are interested in. So EU DEAR has also their own website, so where they have it nicely done with the web designer, web developer. They needed to invest some amount of money to actually make it nice and beautiful and also host it, etc. However, they also have the project on Capacity4dev, but it's also an alternative or an added thing that you can have alongside your own website. So if, for example, you don't want to invest money into the web building, web design, then the alternative is to open a project on Capacity4dev because it behaves same way. And also you will benefit from quite good SEOs because Capacity4dev is a very visited platform. We have quite good searches on the Google, so we usually are on the first page when you search regarding the different projects. So this you can benefit from much bigger search and much bigger outreach with better numbers when it comes then to Capacity4dev, because when you build your website and it's beautiful, that's great, but then like get it out there throughout your social media and starting from scratch might be quite time consuming. And so we recommend either to open the project if you don't want to invest the money into the website, or you can open the project alongside your website so that it can create a bridge or marketing funnel, in other words. If we have our own, so I hope that I answered your question, Paula. And I see now another question from Annalisa. If we have our own project's website, can we use the project session here to share our best contents? Can we add external links? Yes, and this is exactly what I'm speaking about. Thank you very much for asking this. So you can actually use the project on Capacity4dev as a gateway to your website, which will be the landing page. But you can put your best content on Capacity4dev, something that you want to get outreach to other development professionals, to the people from European institutions. And you can put your links, hyperlinks, you can even hyperlink your pictures, you can put your videos, etc., your events. And people can then land on your website if the landing page should be the website. But this is rather about the communication strategy, so how you want to navigate your marketing strategies and communication. All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Annalisa. Anybody else has some other questions that or notes or so if not, then I would like to ask you if you can just give us also the feedback into the chat while you will be leaving from this meeting. But it was a really pleasure to meeting you, and I am pretty sure that we will see you again either in our mailbox or in person in Brussels or anywhere else online. So we are here for you to help you and to support you. We also have other different features and functions that we can actually provide to you via our mailbox, but we will include all of the links then in the thank you note. So thank you so much again, and I will be looking forward to see you again. So bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.